section. Bam! Alright, well, while I get this all set up from here in the backyard, if you hear some crack-a-lackin' going on behind me, if you hear some falling, some dripping, some ice and all that, it's because the melt is on. We are finally seeing some temperatures above freezing, and the sunshine, as you can see, is out. So all these trees are pretty much raining down on us right now. Hey Liz, how's it going? So it's actually a beautiful day here in Central Texas, and we should see a whole lot of this ice start to melt away and all that, and we'll probably find, I don't know, tons and tons of problems as people's houses warm up and pipes do what they do and whatnot. I see Facebook users saying, "Hi Clint, hi Facebook user, let me know who you are," because I just see Facebook user. At any rate, if you are here with me in Texas, I'd like to just say we're making it, right? Hopefully. If you need anything, I hope you have fantastic neighbors like I do. That's one of the things that I learned and I stand behind over and over again. Wherever you live, get to know your neighbors as best as you can and foster some good relationships. All up and down this street here, it has just shown us the value of knowing them, knowing who they are, where they are, and things like that. There's been so much sharing going on here up and down my street and all across the neighborhood and all across Texas. We've been sharing stuff like firewood and meals and food and water and generators. We had a neighbor across the street who had a generator and electrical cords running to 3 houses from that generator. And I imagine it was just to keep the basics going, but it's so incredibly cool. What's up, Mike? It's actually, the sun is, while that sun is right there on me and on my skin, this feels fantastic. And I think that this goes to the fact that once you get acclimated to something, it becomes much easier. If we've been living in houses that have been 50 degrees or below, then going outside is just not that big a deal. And this is one of those points that I've learned as people talk from the north and other parts of the country around the world, say, laugh at us, somewhat rightfully so, for not being able to handle a short cold snap. Well, once you're acclimated, because Texans typically don't have the time to get acclimated to the cold. But once we're here, we're just like anyone else. We have the same good things going for us and the same problems. Hey, yes, definitely warmer. What's up, Ed? Let's pop you up there. Hey, Ed. Good to see you. We'll see you at work tomorrow, maybe, if you can get out. I don't know if you can get out where you are. You get a slightly different type of cold. Bonnie, here we go. Hi, camping in Texas in the Lance, keeping toasty. Good. If you're going to be in a cold snap like this in an RV, Lance is a good way to go. Absolutely. Well suited to this. If you're going to have something like that, Lance's 4-season is a good 4-season camper. Absolutely. So I don't have many plans on what to talk about. I was kind of thinking through what might be something neat to go through, and while I was setting up my gear here in the backyard, I was kind of thinking about, there's a little bit of a thankfulness in all this. And so maybe hit me up, Abraham, Texas snow. Well, no, Texas was not made for this. I guess that's one of the things. I'm going to hop to my other thing, but yeah, that's one of the things that you get from all around the country is that that notion of I don't know, kicking Texas while Texas is down. No, that's no good. There is no place that doesn't have its problems in every category. And the thing is that this is truly a generational storm, meaning that no one in my generation before me, my parents or my grandparents or my great grandparents, if you look back through the record books, ever lived in a statewide situation like this in Texas. Not one of them. No one had a reason to make an infrastructure or plans for this situation that we're currently in. Not only that, even if you're outside of Texas, this is still a generational thing to happen to Texas. No one alive, I imagine, has ever been alive in a time when Texas has gone through a situation like this. So all mocking and stuff aside, if you're online and drawing a breath, you probably have not been alive in a time when Texas has faced a generational storm like this. So granted, we're going to learn a lot, so very much, about things to work on and improve infrastructure, and things like that. And Texas is going to come out stronger. There's going to be a lot of hurt. There's going to be a lot of loss. There's going to be a lot of sad stuff and finding out. I think I'm losing a lot of ice back there right now. Anyways, we're going to come out better. Hey, PJ's on. Hey, PJ. So back to what I was kind of thinking. That was a big piece of ice. So back to what I was thinking of. There were a few things that kind of stood out for me, and maybe for you. Maybe you can help me out by being by joining me in the comments down below. Some things stuck out to me as new favorite things for situations like this. So I got some rubber boots. Bam! Got these for Christmas. I don't typically use rubber boots that often, but I was thinking, since my family's going to be doing, my brother-in-law and I, we're going to start a little bit of a garden this year out at the ranch, and I got some rubber boots. These are my favorite things right now. I love putting these things on. I don't like putting them on, it hurts my back, but I love having them for tramping around. When I go check on my 90-year-old neighbors and help them, hey, there's Kate. Hi, Kate. Yeah, rubber boots and hand warmers. So one of my new favorite things in all of this is my rubber boots. Hand warmers, fantastic. What else has been a favorite thing? And even if you're not in Texas, situations like this come up, whether it be tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, power outages, rolling power outages, blackouts, brownouts, sweltering heat. What sort of thing has ever come up as being a situationally favorite thing? So if something comes to mind, let me know in the comments. I'm trying to scroll through and see them as I can. One of my favorite things that keeps on coming from across the street, because I have really cool neighbors, is Karen, one of my neighbors across the way. She got into making, you've seen those hot cocoa bombs. It's just, it looks like, oh, here we go, homemade dry shampoo. Yes, absolutely. Showering, bathing, when all you got coming into the house is melted or snow to be melted. Yikes. Quilts. Oh, how we have loved quilts. Absolutely. And we usually complain about the number of quilts we have because my mom's a quilter. We usually complain because storing them, we don't have much use for them most of the time. But oh my gosh, we just layered them on, flatten those kids out, stick them on quilts and all that. It's awesome. Anyways, Karen made these Karen makes these coffee bombs, not just cocoa bombs, which I might actually be working on right now, but coffee bombs that look like the same hot cocoa balls, and they're fantastic. Something new, something to source. She's actually working on a recipe for oatmeal bombs. I'm going to check those out. I think I'm her official taste tester now. What else has come up that is one of your favorite things in events like this? I've seen baby wipes, I've seen quilts, I see Lindsay saying, hey, glad you're okay. I'm glad you're okay. It looks like you actually on the, I guess, north side of Hutto had it even harder. So I'm glad you're on and checking in. Generator. Yeah, yeah. This event is bringing home my need to save up a few pennies and to get a generator. Duct tape. I'm gonna bring this one up. Duct tape for taping blankets to the windows for an additional layer of insulation. Yes, yes, yes. The window in my kids' room, it just seemed to be leaking cold right in. I spent one night in there with them, and the next night we used quilts and just patted them in there. So absolutely. And this brings home, if you have a trailer and you get those pillow things that you can put in your vents, and they also make some for window sizes too if you have kind of a standard size. Man, I'll tell you what, an event like this tells me those things are worth their weight in gold. Absolutely. The good thing is that they're worth their weight in gold, but they don't weigh that much, so affordable. I don't know. I love insulating windows at this point. Why? I mean, I don't know. Another thing that's become a favorite thing. Unused storage tubs. Unused storage tubs is how we got all the snow in. We just shovel it in and walk it in the house, set it in the bathtub, let them melt down, and then we just kept on building up our water supply. We actually still have our water supply because we don't trust it just yet. So plus the entire system in our city and obviously statewide and whatnot is definitely still fragile. So we're still using, even though we have running water in the house, we're using that sparingly. We're under a boil water for safety directive anyways for probably at least a week. So for things like flushing the toilets and all that, while I still have snow melted in the tubs, we're still using that. We're turning on as few lights as possible. Power banks. I'm actually powering my my phone to do this stream right now off of a power bank, and it's a solar power bank that Brent up at Princess Craft gave me for Christmas. So it's charging and charging. Anyways, so let's see here. What do we got? Ooh, I wish I had a heated toilet seat. Well, fair. I guess we could use those hand warmers to warm one up. I mean, without the electricity, therein lies the issue. I have wondered, because after the COVID thing last year, maybe humorously, maybe a little dark humor, I have wondered if people who went out and went all into installing bidets in their house and said, screw waiting in lines for toilet paper, I wonder if this has been a problem. Because bidets would need water supplied to them to work. Anyways, maybe you jumped in on the bidet craze. Bidet craze? Can you be crazed about bidets? Anyways, moving on. Battery-powered toilet seat. Yeah. Maybe solar-powered toilet seat. I don't know. Also, solar-powered still needs batteries anyways. Oh, so cell phones to keep in touch with family and neighbors. Yes, absolutely. I'm not sure if you experienced the same thing that we did, where we went days with just the most minutest amount of data coming to our phones. So the internet was down and wouldn't have worked anyways because there's no electricity to run the modem in our house. But data was super frustrating. I'm guessing the cell phone towers that supply the data to our phones were also experiencing the same power outages, because I went the better part of 2, almost 3 days with spotty at best and frustratingly so cell coverage. So all I wanted to do was check on family via text or something. Texts weren't coming through, and I wanted to check the weather. I couldn't run the TV, and the weather apps weren't loading. So a jacket. Jacket. Now, yes, obviously a jacket, but when it's not windy, this is very manageable. Now, where Cody lives, it's always windy. There's nothing to block the wind where you live, Cody. Nothing. Nothing. Chapstick, yes. Yes. Yeah, for us and for the kids, chapstick has been a boon and all that. And you can put that, it says so is chapstick. But if you got a cold burn or scrape or something on a little tiny knee or elbow, chapstick it up. Who cares? But it's COVID season, so don't share it unless you're in family. Let's see here. I'm going to see if I can scroll through here and see what else. When I set up this little table in the, yeah, Cody, nope, there's nothing to block your wind. When I set up this little table, you can see around, there's a lot of tree limbs just raining down, the ice and all that. I found an opening right here with no tree limbs above me, so I don't get snow raining down on me. I can maybe move this camera setup around, but mind you, it might fall apart because I don't have a clamp for my phone today. So I went and got a woodworking clamp and clamped it to a tripod, so right on the screen. It's probably a bad idea. Anyways, yeah, kids loved playing in the trampoline in the snow, sliding down the slide. Well, there went the power bank at least. Okay, and anyways, snow. The crazy thing about this snow, I think, is the way it layered. At least for me. We had that crazy ice, which we get that type of ice that comes down and sheets up and cakes everything in about a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch. Real solid ice. We get that from time to time in Texas. But then we had that thick snow on top of it that kind of insulated that ice. So underneath that insulating, never melting snow was slick ice. That was scary. And then another ice storm that came in on top of that. So we had like this Oreo cookie of snow. Ice, snow, pillow of snow, nice insulation layer, and then another 1/4 inch of ice on top of that, which was really fun to walk on because it crackled and it looked like broken glass and you could pick up shards. I don't know if I have. It's been melting around here, but here's the top layer. That's upside down. Here's the top layer around here. You know, here's another piece, top layer. And then this beautiful powder underneath. I mean, it's just, I don't think I've ever seen such pretty snow in Texas. I mean, beautiful snow. And now it's finally good snowball snow. So I'm gonna get my son out here later. And then underneath that, just ice. PJ's asking if anybody made a snowman. No. Let's see. Beautiful day. Absolutely. Yes. And Angela, at least at home, no mask. Yeah, absolutely. If I'm this far away from anybody and nobody wants to be out here with me, I guess I'm king of my frozen castle. Anywho. So, any snowmen out there? We didn't make one here. We did our snowmaking at the last snow event that came through Texas. Weirdly enough, 2 in a year. Anyone else? Let's see here. All right. So, where is everyone right now? I'm sure I have a few. I know a few of the names around here, being here in Texas. Are there some out of Texas people? And what has the news been? Because here in Texas, the news has been pretty much helping us to take care of ourselves and each other. But now that social media is back, we've seen that we've been a bit of the laughingstock around the country. So how are you holding up? We aren't the only state that had the winter blast. Oklahoma, I think, was hit really hard. I think I heard that Louisiana, Mississippi, all hit pretty hard. Facing the same thing. We're just the biggest target because we're Texas. Kind of used to that. It's kind of earned. Anyways, all right. PJ couldn't make a snowman, but made a snow lizard with ice sheets for spikes. Oh, That's super creative. So maybe like a snow stegosaurus or something. That's what I'm imagining. You know that the spikes on the tail of the stegosaurus, you know, they typically do the modelings or whatever. I'm gonna get wet here in a second. They have the tail with the 4 spikes on them, 2 spikes, 4 spikes. That is actually named after I forget the name of it, but it's actually named after a cartoon by Gary Larson from one of his Far Side things. They didn't have a name for that part of the Stegosaurus. He made something up for one of his cartoons, and bam, the science community said, all right, well, I guess Gary named that part of the tail. All right, Seguin. I've had friends calling to check on us because of, let me go ahead and boop, 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 boop. There we go. Because of what they're seeing on the news. I'm sure the news in other parts of the country have been crazy. Generational weather event as done by Texas. A Texas that was very unprepared and had nothing in the historical log to tell us that we should be prepared for something like this. It's just wild. Absolutely. Let's see here. Cocoa this time. Hot cocoa. Am I confusing Intech and A-liner? Maybe so. All right. Well, I think that we're going to wrap this up. It's my wife is trying to work from home right up in there, and I'm trying to keep the kids occupied so she can work from home, and it is about lunchtime and then nap time. So I will check in with you later. I think that we at Princess Craft are going to watch the weather and possibly make an attempt at being in at Princess Craft tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. And maybe back to quote-unquote business starting next week. Maybe a lot of catch-up, but we'll figure it out. Anyways, it has been fun checking in with everybody. Thank you for joining me for this live chat with the RV Small Talk podcast from my backyard. And I hope that you are doing well, that you're safe, that you've come through this, that you and yours are doing well. Checking on those neighbors. Ooh, there went a bunch of eyes. Checking on those neighbors and those friends. Now that you have data, text, call, send pictures. Stay warm, stay safe, and we will see you next time.